Divergent, Chapter 14. Today is the day before visiting day. I think of visiting day like I think of the world ending. Nothing after it matters. Everything I do builds up to it. I might see my parents again, I might not. Which is worse? I don't know. I try to pull a pant leg over my thigh and it sticks just above my knee. Frowning, I stare at my leg. A bulge of muscle is stopping the fabric. I let the pant leg fall and look over my shoulder at the back of my thigh. Another muscle stands out there. I step to the side, so I stand in front of the mirror. I see muscles that I couldn't see before in my arms, legs, and stomach. I pinch my side, where a layer of fat used to hint at curves to come. Nothing. Dauntless initiation has stolen whatever softness my body had. Is that good or bad? At least I am stronger than I was. I wrap my towel around me again and leave the girls' bathroom. I hope no one is in the dormitory to see me walking in my towel, but I can't wear those pants. When I open the dormitory door, a weight drops into my stomach. Peter, Molly, Drew, and some of the other initiates stand in the back corner laughing. They look up when I walk in and start snickering. Molly's snort laugh is louder than everyone else's. I walk to my bunk, trying to pretend like they aren't there, and fumble in the drawer under my bed for the dress Christina made me get. One hand clamped around the towel and one holding the dress, I stand up, and right behind me is Peter. I jump back, almost hitting my head on Christina's bunk. I try to slip past him, but he slams his hand against Christina's bed frame, blocking my path. I should have known he wouldn't let me get away that easily. Didn't realize you were so skinny, stiff. Get away from me. My voice is somehow steady. This isn't the hub, you know. No one has to follow a stiff's orders here. His eyes travel down my body, not in the greedy way that a man looks at a woman, but cruelly, scrutinizing every flaw. I hear my heartbeat in my ears as the others inch closer, forming a pack behind Peter. This will be bad. I have to get out of here. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a clear path to the door. If I can duck under Peter's arm and sprint toward it, I might be able to make it. Look at her, says Molly, crossing her arms. She smirks at me. She's practically a child. Oh, I don't know, says Drew. She could be hiding something under that towel. Why don't we look and see? Now. I duck under Peter's arm and dart toward the door. Something pinches and pulls at my towel as I walk away and then yanks sharply. Peter's hand, gathering the fabric into his fists. The towel slips from my hand and the air is cold on my naked body, making the hair on the back of my neck stand on end. Laughter erupts, and I run as fast as I can toward the door, holding the dress against my body to hide it. I sprint down the hallway and into the bathroom and lean against the door, breathing hard. I close my eyes. It doesn't matter. I don't care. A sob bursts from my mouth, and I slap my hand over my lips to contain it. It doesn't matter what they saw. I shake my head like the motion is supposed to make it true. With shaking hands, I get dressed. The dress is plain black with a V-neck that shows the tattoos on my collarbone and goes down to my knees. Once I'm dressed, the urge to cry is gone. I feel something hot and violent writhing in my stomach. I want to hurt them. I stare at my eyes in the mirror. I want to, so I will. I can't fight in a dress, so I get myself some new clothes from the pit before I walk to the training room for my last fight. I hope it's with Peter. Hey, where were you this morning? Christina asks when I walk in. I squint to see the blackboard across the room. The space next to my name is blank. I haven't gotten an opponent yet. I got held up, I say. 4 stands in front of the board and writes a name next to mine. Please let it be Peter. Please, please. You okay, Trist? You look a little, says Al. A little what? 4 moves away from the board. The name written next to mine is Molly. Not Peter, but good enough. On edge, says Al. My fight is last on the list, which means I have to wait through 3 matches before I face her. Edward and Peter fight second to last. Good. Edward's the only one who can beat Peter. Christina will fight Al, which means that Al will lose quickly like he's been doing all week. Go easy on me, okay? Al asks Christina. I make no promises, she replies. The first pair, Will and Myra, stand across from each other in the arena. For a second, they both shovel back and forth, one jerking an arm forward and then retracting it, the other kicking and missing. Across the room, Four leans against the wall and yawns. I stare at the board and try to predict the outcome of each match. It doesn't take long. Then I bite my fingernails and think about Molly. Christina lost to her, which means she's good. She has a powerful punch, but she doesn't move her feet. If she can't hit me, she can't hurt me. As expected, the next fight between Christina and Al is quick and painless. Al falls after a few hard hits to the face and doesn't get back up, which makes Eric shake his head. Edward and Peter take longer. Though they are the two best fighters, the disparity between them is noticeable. Edward's fist slams into Peter's jaw, and I remember what Will said about him, that he has been studying combat since he was 10. It's obvious. He is faster and smarter than even Peter. By the time the 3 matches are done, my nails are bitten to the beds and I am hungry for lunch. I walk to the arena without looking at anyone or anything but the center of the room. Some of my anger has faded, but it isn't hard to call back. All I have to do is think about how cold the air was and how loud the laughter was. Look at her. She's a child. Molly stands across from me. Was that a birthmark I saw on your left butt cheek? She says, smirking. God, you're pale, stiff. She'll make the first move. She always does. Molly starts toward me and throws her weight into a punch. As her body shifts forward, I duck and drive my fist into her stomach, right over her belly button. Before she can get her hands on me, I slip past her, my hands up, ready for her next attempt. She's not smirking anymore. She runs at me like she's about to tackle me, and I dart out of the way. I hear Four's voice in my head telling me that the most powerful weapon at my disposal is my elbow. I just have to find a way to use it. I block her next punch with my forearm. The blow stings, but I barely notice it. She grits her teeth and lets out a frustrated groan, more animal-sounding than human. She tries a sloppy kick at my side, which I dodge, and while her balance is off, I rush forward and force my elbow up at her face. She pulls her head back just in time when my elbow grazes her chin. She punches me in the ribs, and I stumble to the side, recovering my breath. There's something she's not protecting, I know it. I want to hit her face, but maybe that's not a smart move. I watch her for a few seconds. Her hands are too high. They guard her nose and cheeks, leaving her stomach and ribs exposed. Molly and I have the same flaw in combat. Our eyes meet for just a second. I aim an uppercut low below her belly button. My fist sinks into her flesh, forcing a heavy breath from her mouth that I feel against my ear. As she gasps, I sweep kick her legs out from under her as she falls hard on the ground, sending dust into the air. I pull my foot back and kick as hard as I can at her ribs. My mother and father would not approve of my kicking someone when she's down. I don't care. She curls into a ball to protect her side, and I kick again, this time hitting her in the stomach, like a child. I kick again, this time hitting her in the face. Blood springs from her nose and spreads over her face. Look at her. Another kick hits her in the chest. I pull my foot back again, but Four's hands clamp around my arms, and he pulls me away from her with irresistible force. I breathe through the gritted teeth, staring at Molly's blood-covered face, the color deep and rich, and beautiful in a way. She groans, and I hear a gurgling in her throat, watch blood trickle from her lips. You won, Four mutters. Stop. I wipe the sweat away from my forehead. He stares at me. His eyes are too wide. They look alarmed. I think you should leave, he says. Take a walk. I'm fine. I say, I'm fine now. I say again, this time for myself. I wish I could say I felt guilty for what I did. I don't.